Hi. All right, so today I want to talk about health overall and healing overall, and all the different gurus and all the different holistic teachers, medical doctors, Ayurvedic, Chinese, everybody, podcasts, diet gurus, nutritionists, all the different diets, all the different holistic treatments, herbalists, everything, right? I just want to capture all under one umbrella, from the mainstream to the totally random and obscure and everywhere in between. Okay? So when you are healing and when you are trying to heal yourself, a lot of times people will start with the conventional route. They've already been entrusted with doctors. They already trust them. They already believe in them. They've seen other people get conventional treatment. And at some point they realize that this is not going to work for them, or this does not work for them. And they might go to a naturopath or a functional medicine doctor, some sort of a holistic expert next. And then that doesn't work. And then they might try, herbalism, or they might try, they might try detoxing. They might try certain things, homeopathics. They might try, they might try body work. They might try yoga and chanting and Reiki. They may try massage. They may try chiropractic care. And then that's sort of like the third umbrella. So the holistic, and then the functional medicine doctors, and then we have all these different branches out from there. And then it gets to be like, none of that worked. And then they search, and then they're on YouTube and they follow different diets. So then you might try every single diet, from paleo to keto to raw vegan, to this, to that, to the other. And then you might say, I need to do meditation. I'm going to follow the meditation route. I'm going to try to find myself and meditate and chant and do my breath work and my breathing, right? And then, so it gets wider and wider down the chain into all these things. And then at some point, it's a lot raining really hard out there. And then at some point you're realizing none of this is working, right? You're at the top, you're going down and down and out and out and out. Your focus is broadening, you're watching, you're researching more and more, you're learning more, you're doing more, your base, the bottom of that pyramid becomes so wide, right? You're willing to try anything now. Now you will, leave your family and go to the middle of Africa to some random healer. Okay, so up here was the conventional, I'm going to go to the doctor and they're going to get me better. And then by the time you come down this pyramid of trying all these things, you're at the very bottom here, and you're like, man, I'll do anything. I'll leave my home, go to a mountaintop in Tibet and chant with some guy. I'll go see some random healer in Africa. I'll travel the world. I will do any, ayahuasca. I'll do all these like random extreme protocols. Drinking your own urine, doing fecal matter transplants, you're doing all kinds of energy healers, distance energy, this, that, the other. You're like, somebody please help me, I will do anything. And it literally becomes a band of the most obscure, craziest things that you could possibly think of, and you're just widening it out, and there seems to be no end, right? There seems to be no end to this pyramid that just keeps going and going and going. And then you're more stressed, you're more overloaded, you've got more options in front of you. Even though you feel like you would have less when you get down to here, you have more options. They're just crazier, more random, more intense, more longer, right? Everything's specific. And it's almost like you're following gurus at this point. You're just like down there, and there's so many options, and there's just so out there, and you're just hoping like, I'm going to find this thing, and you're wondering, where's the end, right? Until at some point you just think, I've tried everything. And of course you've never ever tried everything. This band can can go on forever and ever and ever. But at some point, you either keep going forever until you either find the thing or until you give up and say, you know what? Maybe I haven't tried everything, but I've tried a lot of things. And to be honest with you, I'm just not buying it anymore. Nothing works. I don't believe that any of this BS is going to heal me. So you either get to the point where you just keep going and going and going and searching forever and driving yourself mad with, like, you know, this tunnel that you're digging and digging and trying to find that will never end, or you just say, I give up, I surrender, I'm either going to go back to the top and start it all back down again, or I'm just going to give up, right? And so I guess I don't know exactly what my point is here. And I don't even know where I stand in all of this. I've definitely been to the bottom and out and out and out. And I'm almost to the point where maybe it's none of this. Maybe it was a yearning, an attachment I had to being able to heal myself and to find the thing and to know the answer. And maybe the only truth is inside, right? Is inside. It's not going to come from outside. The only place is going to come from within. And so that brings you back to sort of meditating, but it's not really meditating. I don't need to sit in meditation for 6 hours a day. Just loving myself. I need to love myself. I need to forgive myself. I need to be gentle with myself. I need to care for myself. I need to put myself first. I need to be in tune with what myself needs and what myself wants, and where my energy is bogging down, where all this energy, you know, it's not a thing. At some point you realize that is going to heal you. It's only looking inward and finding what is stopping me from healing. What unforgiveness do I have, or what sadnesses do I have, what angers do I have, what hurts do I have, what fears do I have, what past events do I have, what emotions, what dreams unrealized, you know, how am I getting in the way of my own healing? And so at some point, almost all your efforts, eventually, if you haven't found the thing, and some people find the thing, they really do find the thing, or they find the thing that pleases them enough that, oh, these dogs, okay. I have 2 dogs, so they play, and they start to circle around each other and chase and just go like berserk. They're actually not hurting each other. This is like fun play for them. It's just really bad timing when I'm trying to make this video. Okay, so what I'm saying is going inward is always the answer. Now, it doesn't mean you can just eat crap, eat junk, not meditate, not exercise, not go to sleep on time. Like, we know the basic things that are good for our health. But maybe, you know, traveling to some random jungle village to meet some random healer who's going to heal you is just not the answer. Right? The answer is found within. So if you're doing everything right, if you believe that you're eating healthy food, eating food that, you know, that is made by nature, as nature intended, and you're living a life, you know, where you're keeping your toxins low and you're doing, you know, good things, rather than take that to the next obsessive level, which is what most of us do, I think at that point, the answer is to look inward. It's like, where are your blocks? Where are your mental blocks, your emotional blocks, your physical blocks, your spiritual blocks? What's bothering you? What's hurting you? What are you sad about? What are you not saying? Where are you hiding your truth? You know, where is your truth not able to come out? Where are you not being the person that you were created to be? How different is your reality compared to the vision of your dream life, or your interests, or, you know, it's more about self-love. self-forgiveness, self-soothing, self-everything, self-realization, it's more about treating yourself and healing yourself by understanding yourself and becoming yourself, loving yourself, and then becoming the truest version of yourself that you can be. So I know this video is a little random, it's a little out there, it doesn't give you much concrete to do, but journaling is a good place to start. Walking, meditation, just thinking, loving yourself, forgiving yourself, having fun, just trying to be yourself and be okay with that and not feel shame or guilt about it, until you can be okay with yourself, the self, your true spirit, and love that self unconditionally, and forgive that self unconditionally, and let go of all the judgments and shame and criticisms. Unconditionally, that's maybe where true healing lies. That's kind of the realization I'm coming to, is that maybe everything else is just a path inward. And I'm not saying that this is right. I'm not saying that this is the answer, but it's kind of where I'm at right now and where I'm focusing my efforts, because at some point you have all these gurus, you have all these teachers, you have all this advice, but when it doesn't work, you either double down on your efforts and you make yourself crazy trying to make a round hole fit into a square peg, or however they want to say it, square peg in a round hole. You either keep going, or you realize what all these gurus and experts and everybody who's smarter than me has to offer me just isn't the thing, just doesn't work, just is dogma. It's not real. It's at first you sort of turn your judgment on the medical establishment, the mainstream, and you realize what they're telling us is lies, and they're not giving us the full truth, and they're not allowing us to heal ourselves naturally, and it's down on them, and yay for natural health. But then at some point you realize, wait a minute, this is the same thing. All these people are giving me rules, what to do, all these things, rules, confinements, they're drawing all these boundaries and schedules and things that we need to do, and it's not working. And we're holding them up as God, and they're not God, and it's not working, and it's not healing us. At some point, the heavens part, the dawn, the realization comes down, and you're like, now what? It doesn't work. Now what? And I think the only thing left is inward. So that's where I'm going. I don't know if that's the answer, but I would suggest it's a pretty darn good place. I don't think you can go wrong going inward and looking at those emotions and trying to heal your soul, basically. And hopefully that healed, loved, beautiful soul feels so loved and powerful that it actually helps your body heal itself. And that's where I'm headed. So anyway, hope this helped in some way.